Have you ever looked at your career and thought, what on earth am I doing? And it's okay if you rather not say, because you are hearing it from me. I have been there. In fact, I have been there more times than I'd like to admit. And there was a time where, just actually a few years ago, I was standing at a crossroads in my career. I had just made a huge pivot from healthcare to technology. And this was not only just a new role, new industry, it was new everything during the early stages of the pandemic. I decided that this was the time that I was going to join the Great Resignation. And let me tell you, as this opportunity started to develop into reality, I felt that I was starting to read a map that had no street signs, no street names. But here's what I've learned. When you feel lost, that's when you start looking for your North Star. For me, that North Star was my map, mentors, allies, Patreons. And today, I want to help you build yours. Think of your map as your career GPS. Again, mentors, allies, Patreons. These are the individuals who will guide you, support you, and open doors for you when you are ready to walk through them. Mentors are like that one friend who tells you the truth, even though it's hard to hear sometimes. They are the ones who have been where you want to go and are willing to share their lessons, both their wins and teachable moments along the way. One of my mentors at my job once told me, Ashley, you keep playing it small. And I didn't understand what she meant by that until I realized I didn't speak up at meetings, and I often didn't make my presence known. And that ended up hitting me like a ton of bricks because I know I had things to say, but I didn't have the confidence to say them. In this case, that was me not advocating for myself. Another way that my map had helped me was when I started to interact with my allies. Think of your allies as your tribe. These are the individuals who lift you up and say your name in rooms even when you haven't walked in them yet. They are your cheerleaders, and sometimes they're able to hold your hand throughout different processes of your life. One of my allies, and in this case was a former manager at the time, had sent me a Teams message and said, "Hey, I just hyped you up in one of the meetings and the VP wants to speak with you." This moment was so special because I knew behind the scenes my team was downsized and we were being stretched so thin. But she still believed in me, and it opened the opportunity for me to meet one of my future Patreons. Now, Patreons, think of them as your power players, the decision makers, and write that down again, decision makers. These are the individuals who bet on you. They advocate when it matters the most. I'll tell you an example. When I was up for a promotion, my Patreon, or you may commonly hear in the workplace as a sponsor, had told HR on several occasions that she wanted me on her team. And she wanted me to receive a promotion. Now, trust me, this story still has a special place in my heart because it was almost a year before the job even got approved. And knowing that she didn't give up on me, well, me on the other hand, I felt like a lost cause. I didn't feel very resilient at that time. But when I knew that that job offer was approved, it changed my life because I knew that other folks were interested in pursuing me, even when I felt like I didn't have the bandwidth. Back to when I had started my first initial steps into the tech world, it was a lot going on in my personal life. Right before I started my first day on the job, I had celebrated my birthday and helped my sister plan her wedding as well. So I was surrounded by big celebrations, families, high energy moments, and monumental occasions in my life. Then it was back to work, where I had to prove myself. And despite balancing personal life and also working in a new industry, I often felt that I was doing more than I could handle. And sometimes that happens. Now, as I continued this process, 1 year into the role, I started to feel less energized. And I started to ask myself, why did I even make this decision? Because I didn't feel like I was successfully surviving in my role. A sense of belonging just didn't feel normal to me. I was working remotely and I really felt isolated because I didn't have a chance to connect with folks because I was working with folks that were part-time or were contracting on a limited basis. My future at the company that I had dreamed of working at started to feel a little less promising and less of what I had thought was going to be my ideal experience. So I started to reach out to individuals who I felt that could probably relate to me. And one of them ended up being my mentor because I admired her leadership and her honesty. She ultimately became my guiding light and helped me to find allies outside of my immediate support group at home, even when I doubted myself countless times. I eventually earned the trust of a sponsor who put my name forward for opportunities that I didn't even know existed and were later created for me. And here's the honest truth. I wouldn't be standing here today without them. My map didn't just help me navigate my career. It helped me to step into my potential. Knowing what I know now, I hope this brings you some comfort to know that you are not alone. In this process, there have been several takeaways, and I'll share 3 of them with you. 1, to find your mentor. Start by looking for someone who's walked the path you want to walk. But remember, mentorship isn't just a one-way street. Ask yourself, how can I add value to their journey as well? Think of it as the best mentorships are built on mutual respect and growth. Number 2, cultivate allies. Allies can be your peers, colleagues, or friends outside of your industry. Build relationships with people who believe in you, and then be the kind of ally who amplifies others as well. Think of it as your allies don't always need to look like you or think like you. And you'll be surprised, that's actually one of the benefits of an ally. And 3, secure sponsors. Sponsors help you find exactly what you need to do to get to the place where you want to go and deliver. So don't be afraid to share your wins with them. They like to hear the bragging part. And when you earn a sponsor's trust, they can move mountains for you. Now, I want you to think of how to position yourself for potential sponsorships. Let's be real. Your map is not a magic wand. Mentors will guide you, but they won't make decisions for you. Allies will support you, but they won't fight your battles. Sponsors will open doors for you, but you still need to walk through them. Think of it as baking a cake. You need the ingredients, but you're still the one who has to mix it, to bake it, to frost it, all of the things. And yes, you might burn a few cakes along the way. It won't look exactly how you want it, but that's part of the process. You get better with time. Now remember, it isn't just about where you're going. It's about who you are becoming along the way. I encourage you to say this with me, or feel free to say it independently in your head. I am the navigator of my career. My map is my compass, and my potential is limitless. Again, I am the navigator of my career. My map is my compass, and my potential is limitless. Repeat this to yourself whenever you feel stuck, and let it guide you forward. And if you ever want to connect, share your journey, or just say hi, you can find me on social media at DataGirlAsh. Thank you for letting me share this moment with you, and I hope that you enjoy your adventure with your map.